This is starting. We
Yay!
should be live
Hi
now.
guys. Hi everybody. Are we live? Yes, we're live. Hi guys. Welcome. Welcome to my desk. Hi Ed. Ed is next to me.
Hello, Malt Malt.
Hi
Hello, Isha. Hello, Aritna.
guys.
Hello, Daphne, Cory, Carolina, Sandra. Hello,
Yay!
everybody. We are back. Actually, Fran is back. I'm just here.
Joining me, joining us. How are you guys? So welcome. Today I took notes of all the things you asked me because today I wanted to do all of the things or most of the things that you guys requested so we can like close the year in a amazing circle of love. Jennifer, I wrote everything down by the way. Jennifer asks if we could practice with lining with a fine tip brush. So I was thinking maybe we could use the new pen I just ordered or the finest brush I have, which is this one, and we can outline this illustration. Bego asks if we could do favorite color pencils, which I am also going to do. Ali asks if we could practice with wash and watercolor, and Daphne asks if we could talk about watercolors and useful exercises. For example, when I began painting with watercolors and stuff like that. So today we're going to paint this illustration. It's a very cute Korean couple that I found on Instagram. And I'm going to paint this with watercolors right now so I can share with you the things that I used to do to practice. And later on, we're going to use color pencils and outline this baby with this brush. So welcome, guys. This is the last live stream of the year, which is crazy if you ask me. How are you guys? It's a Sunday, good Sunday for
Everybody
you.
saying hi. Hi to Fran. Hi, Ed. Hi, Hamburguesa. And hi, Cerealita.
Oh,
Cerealita's right next to us. She's on her cat totem.
yeah. Sarah's in a crazy mood today. I think she's hungry because it's an hour. Um, she's going to have lunch in an hour.
Yeah.
So every time she's about to eat, oh God, I can't open this. Ed, can you help me?
I'm not sure I will.
So useful to have a man in the house.
A
What
man in the
else?
hands. There you go.
Julia says, Fran, I was almost late, but you made it, baby. You made it on time. So I love that now the Ecoline liquid watercolors, I won't tilt this glass because otherwise it will be a mess. But I love that they're now coming with pipette, which is very handy
Is that the name of
because,
it? Pipette?
yes,
Oh, wow.
because in the past it used to be just like this type of glass and it was a pain in the ass to take the paint out. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, guys. I love Ecoline. I haven't used watercolors and Ecoline in such a long time because I fell in love with gouache and then color pencils. It was actually this year that I started using um, color pencils, guys. Isn't that crazy and amazing? Where are you doing it?
Oh, it's like a spot of something on top of the drawing.
I can take it.
There you go. It needs to be clean. It needs to be perfect.
It needs to be perfect. So the first thing that I started practicing when I started painting with watercolors was how can I paint this whole surface in one go as quickly as I can? Because the issue with watercolors, guys, and also with gouache like this one, is that these mofos dry like very fast. So you need to act really fast. A lot of people, what they do is they wet the surface just with water and a brush before painting, and that allows extra time in case you think you're going to take longer to paint a surface.
Is there an advantage of that?
The advantage, I don't know, because I think the color will look more even, but I am not I'm not expert at the wet watercolor technique. It's called wet technique, by the way. And I couldn't make this up. Uh, but I become used to painting the dry way, which is just when you face the illustration in a dry way. So this couple, very cute couple, by the way, they're both wearing very long jackets. Is this a jacket? What is the name of this? It's something that you wear.
Overall, probably a jacket.
It's like it's not a raincoat. It's
Oh.
like
It's like an Inspector Gadgets kind of
yeah.
coat.
This is going to bug me so much because I used to know the name of this thing.
Well, it has another name that is not
Yeah,
very
it's the
good. Coat.
worst. Coat? Okay,
No,
thank you guys.
Cory says coat, so I trust Cory. Cory, you wouldn't lie to us, would you? Trench coat.
Trench coat,
Says
that's the word. Thank you.
Dear Elagory.
Thank you guys. And the cool thing about this, or that I've learned, is that when there's a cut in the illustration, in this case, the sleeve, every time there's a cut, I use that instance to start over and fill up my brush again with paint, because it will be it's a natural point to stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the flow of the color can be cut because there's something
Yes.
interrupting it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you, Ward.
That's all right. I'm glad to be confused.
So this is what I do, you guys. Damn it. So we're now officially organizing the Christmas trip to Chile. We're leaving in exactly 1 week. And today my mom and I were talking on Skype, and she's so excited. She's taking 1 week off just to like make sure that all the preparations are in order. And I'm like, Mom, everything's going to be all right. We're not very like demanding guests. And she's like, oh no, I'm going to wash all the towels and make sure that you're comfortable, and I'm going to bake cookies. And this is like an event for my mom, and it's just us. But I'm so happy she's excited. I'm also really excited.
Julia asks, says, I always run out of water in the middle of the part where I have to paint in.
Oh, that's the worst. I think that's the only thing you can do with that is just practice, because I always as well run out of the water, but it's so hard to calculate how to do it and how much paint you're going to need. You need to, what I do, guys, this is another advice, which, guys, I'm not an expert, but a very useful thing is to always have a stash of already mixed paints next to you, because if you need to mix the paint, the color, you need a specific one. You have to have more than you'll think you'll need, just in case if you run out. This color is actually really light.
Cory says something that's true. You could also use a brush with the water tank. You use one of those.
Yes.
In a video. Did you like that?
I like them. They're tricky to use, but I think they're really useful if you're out and about doing like stuff and you want to paint outside. I think they're really handy. No, I always forget that the cyan one is very Jesus Christ.
You need to soak that.
Yeah. What are your plans for Christmas, guys? Any plans?
Yeah, Julia says that those ones that have like the tank, they kind of leak and they deliver too much water.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I remember why.
This is turning into an intense color.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the guy's jacket?
Yeah, this is the guy's jacket.
Okay.
By the way, they were both wearing the same outfit. There was one of those couples that dressed alike. Oh. So they were both wearing the same jacket, the same color jacket, and the same turtleneck. And they were cute, guys. They were cute.
Drew Lagory says, it was helpful to see you mess up now, because I usually just give up when that happens.
That happens all the time, baby. All the freaking time. Man, I haven't used watercolors in such a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen watercolors.
I feel so rusty.
So, Julia says, it's probably my last Christmas in France with my family before a few years, so I'm going to enjoy it with my family. That's good, Julia.
Yeah.
And Sandra says, I'm going to Berlin for Christmas. What is a place I shouldn't miss? Which is a place you shouldn't miss on Christmas. Well,
Oh, there,
Weihnachtsmarkt,
yeah,
probably.
all of the Christmas
Markets.
markets, they're really nice. Which was your favorite? Well, there's one in
Alexanderplatz, there's one. And
that's
there's
really
another.
nice.
There's another one nearby Checkpoint Charlie, isn't it? Nearby the
Yes,
Chilean embassy.
that one is really,
That one's really good. Where is that? Like Kochtorstraße or no?
How can you remember?
What's it's near Checkpoint Charlie. That's where it is. So probably if you check out Weihnachtsmarkt Checkpoint Charlie or like search on Google nearby that, you'll probably find it. That was really good. I like that one.
Yeah, I wonder if it's already snowing
I don't know.
in Berlin. Oh my God, all of these textures.
Gendarmenmarkt. That's it. Very good, Corey. Thank you. That's great.
Oh man.
Fran, there's a question in Spanish, but I'm going to translate it in English.
Okay.
Because I'm a douche. So it says, Fran, what do you think it's best to mix the watercolors in? Oh, I'm sorry. Corey says it's not the same. Gendarmenmarkt. It's not the same that we were talking about.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. That's false information. I'm the king of fake news. But Maria says, ask you, what is better if you mix the watercolors in plastic or porcelain?
Oh, that's a very good question, actually. Oh, look at that. All of the color is not even. So don't follow my advice. I think I've always been a plastic user. That sounded so wrong for some reason. I've always been a plastic user, but with gouache, I invested in a porcelain mixer, and it's really, really nice. But since I use one, you guys, I am not in any case a watercolor expert. I actually use this watercolor palette, which, if you think about it, it doesn't look like expert or pro at all. I bought this when I was living in Berlin. You can see how used and loved this baby is. But I think if you're starting and you would like to see if watercolor is something that you're really interested in, you can easily invest in one of these babies. They're really, really cheap, and plastic in the beginning is fine. I've seen Holly, another YouTuber, really nice, and she uses a plate actually, and that looks so freaking legit. Like she knows what she's doing. But I always use the ones that come in every palette. I just invested in one, but when I'm using wash, because wash, as you can see, guys, they don't come in a palette, and you have to mix it in another like in another form. You have to use a third thing to mix it. So that's why I bought the mixing plates, and because I didn't have plastic or like another surface to mix it, so nothing that I said makes sense, but I hope yeah, okay.
It's all right.
Okay. I hope that answered your question. So now what I think I'm going to do is every time I use watercolors, I tend to layer colors on how, for example, how light to darker colors. So now, for example, I'm going to do a very slight and light shadow in this area, because since I'm going to paint on top later on, it's better that I do this right now. So I don't think I have a cool light, so I'm going to use the Ecoline one. You can use whatever you want, guys. This is the thing with not having a pipette in hand.
The pipette.
Damn pipette.
That pipette.
That pipette, though. Man, I miss Berlin.
Yeah, it was nice. But I like it here.
Yeah. God, you guys, New York is so Christmassy. I now understand why so many people come to New York. But yesterday it was packed of people. We couldn't actually move. And yesterday was crazy, Ed.
We were outside, what was it, Macy's? No, what store was that? I don't know, but there was like a store that had Christmas lights and music, and people were, we did this stupid thing where we moved, we walked through Times Square, which you shouldn't do that because it's full of tourists. And there was this big store, and they were blasting music outside, like Christmassy music, like a lot of lights. So all the freaking tourists of the world were outside the store looking at it. So they clogged the street, and we couldn't walk through.
Oh yeah,
That was really bad.
that was really bad.
Julia says, "Yeah, I saw your lens," and I was like, "Nope, nope, nope." Yeah, that was terrible. It was like a bad concert that we never wanted to go.
It was a bad concert, exactly. Now I think, what should I do now from all the things that I have to do? So I need this baby I need to wait for it to dry, but I'm going to start using gouache because who was the one? So Ali asked me to use gouache today. So the cool thing about gouache is that everything you paint will look even and neat and very, is the word even? Is there another word for even?
No, that's good. It's like a marker.
Yes, it's basically like using a marker or acrylic. It's basically like, I love the texture of the watercolor, so that's why I use watercolor, but gouache is another wonderful thing. So I think this part used to be in the picture, by the way, it used to be black, but since I don't have black and I'm really into navy blue, I'm going to paint all of the parts that used to be black as navy blue. And I think I'm going to use color pencils for giving texture to the hair and the skin. But yeah, let's do this. This is very silly, but I didn't bring my Jesus Christ.
You didn't bring your Jesus Christ?
Yeah, my my plate, my porcelain plate. Anyway. Yeah, we were talking with our friends and they were like, oh my God, Times Square is the worst. I hate Times Square. And I'm like, Times Square is fine. And then yesterday I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they mean.
I mean, we haven't enjoyed Times Square since we moved in.
Oh, I know. That was Rockefeller Center.
Oh, okay.
That was the part where we were yesterday. Jesus, you guys never go there. Please don't.
Jess loves design, says, hello guys, sorry I'm late. Well, Jess, you made it on time, just barely. Go to your corner.
Just barely.
Just barely. Scratching.
Is it handy? Can I ask you something, guys? Is it handy when I tell you we're 1 hour away from the live stream? I never know if this is something that you need to know, but I always like to send a reminder of our live streams. So please let me know if you like those reminders. I can't believe this is the last live stream of the year.
This year went fast.
It's so sad.
So many things happened this year.
I know, right?
Cue dramatic music and montage. The sax.
Yeah,
starring. You turn around and the image freezes.
I always liked those opening songs. Wait, is this dry? I don't want to risk. Wait a second. I'm going to wait. Oh, but I can paint the skirt now that I think about it. There's people that like to mix water with their wash, and I don't know if you're supposed to do that.
You're doing it now just to check?
Yeah.
So risky.
I mean, but if it's not now, when I will have the chance to experiment, you guys.
Well, I was saying it was very useful that you advised, because otherwise they would have missed it. That's what Julia says. Astrid said it was perfect. And yeah, Claudia says the same.
Thank you, guys.
Astrid says, we need your reminder, Fran.
Oh, Celica is cleaning herself.
Oh, wow, she's on top of the world.
I feel Celica always cleans herself.
Yeah, especially while you sleep.
Yeah.
She goes to bed and cleans herself.
Like, why is she doing that with us in the bedroom?
At night.
Yeah.
When everybody sleeps, it's like, well, now that the humans are sleeping,
I'm gonna make all the disgusting noises next to you.
This is like a good moment to lick my body and make noises.
I'm gonna lick my butthole so hard right now.
Well, yeah.
What? I can be graphic, right?
But she kind of licks her tail or her paws or her tummy. She makes this weird position in which she like sits and then
Yeah.
licks her tummy. It's so weird.
Oh God, I love Cereal. She's so cute.
Julia says she likes how I put character in their comments, so that's good.
Very nice. All the funny voices.
All the funny voices. Claudia Day says, "Oh my God, my cat Taro does the same thing when he gets on my lap." So Taro is just as disgusting as Rica.
I'm so glad
I'm so
that
glad
we're
we have
not
disgusting
alone.
cats. Very good.
Yeah.
They were alone. They were just part of a big plan. The leaking plan.
So Ed, are you excited of finishing school soon?
I'm excited about finishing, but I feel like it's never gonna happen.
It is going to
I
happen.
have so much stuff to finish.
Ed is going through finals, guys. He
Ah,
needs to send all the. I mean, you have to send all the papers you're working on next Friday.
yeah.
Are you guys going through finals or are you just like working? I'm so glad I'm not studying right now.
I also like, oh my God, finals, I'm dying, lol, hashtag. And I was like, oh, why are they complaining so much? Just
Who is
study it.
complaining?
No, in the internet at this time of the year, it's like finals memes. And there's like a lot of memes about finals. And now I understand. The pain was real. At least on my PhD, the pain is super real. Yeah. But those shoes look sharp, girl. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh man. What are you guys watching? Please recommend us
Sandra
stuff.
says tomorrow is my degree presentation. The pain is real. Oh, Sandra.
Oh, Sandra, good
What are
luck.
you doing watching a live stream? Be responsible, Sandra. Well, you're gonna rock it, Sandra. Don't worry. It's gonna be
Yeah. You can do it, baby.
great. Julia says PhDs are serious beeswax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Gambate, says Astrid. Híjamelo.
Man, this is so slow. I'm so happy you guys are keeping me company on this.
Spicy Peppy Gray says, both. I teach at Liberal Arts College and finals weeks just ended. I still have so much grading to do. Oh yeah, my teachers are like destroyed. They have like, the teachers, especially from comparative literature, they have to read like 7,000 words essays for every single person in the class.
They have to though?
I mean,
Do they hire someone?
I don't know. At least the teacher that I have from MA Seminar, he actually reads everything and writes comments.
Oh
on
my
every single
God.
paper, so that's crazy. That's like reading like 2 novels out of shitty papers that people write for your class. And have to
I mean,
give
let's
feedback
hope
and
they're not
everything.
shitty, right?
Yeah, I hope so, but you know what I mean? Like you don't know if it's gonna be any good.
Yeah, and it's not something that you want to read.
No, it's not like, oh, I so desire to read a paper about a book I already wrote. It's gonna be great. Sandra's escaping from reality. Yep.
Very nice, Sandra. You deserve this. Do you though? Is this the content that you would like to?
Julia says, Ed, please make a podcast where you're just reading comments of people. You're basically asking me to turn myself into Jack's films. That's what we want.
Oh man, I haven't watched Jack's films in such a long time.
Yeah, me too. I unsubscribed like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to enjoy the channel, but then it was just Jack reading comments, and then it stopped being funny.
But
Oh
he's really
well,
funny.
he looks like a funny dude. But yeah, I stopped being a fan of the channel. Is this bad? Like, am I bad speaking about something? Should I
No,
stop?
no. I think if you're not enjoying a content, is totally fine to unsubscribe.
Yeah. It was so sad. Can we hit 10,000 likes? Yeah. We're all waiting for a Fran and Ed podcast on 2019.
Would you guys listen to that? Like honestly, there's so many cool podcasts. That's the thing.
Yeah. I feel like we could do something, but I don't know if it always resorts to the same problem, isn't it? Like, are we fluent enough in this language to actually talk about a topic
that's
for
a thing.
like 30 or 40 minutes without sounding like idiots? I mean, we're going to sound like idiots regardless, but I mean, like, it will be good not to overdo the idiot card. Yes, we will listen. Yes. Oh my God, yes. I guess it would be good. I don't know, but the issue is like we always wondered what could we talk about on a podcast.
That's the thing. There's no theme.
There's no theme.
There's no theme. I mean, maybe I was going to say maybe creativity or like creative process, but there's so many already awesome podcasts that talk about that.
And people who actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I feel that this is the thing, guys.
I am creative.
Is
Is this creative?
I am so creative. I feel like this is not to play pity, but maybe it's because I have imposter syndrome, but I feel like I know nothing about this thing. And even when I am sharing with you guys this thing, I'm like, oh, I did this wrong. Since I feel like I'm not an expert on this subject and I still have so much stuff to learn, I'm like, what am I going to share with people on the podcast? And then I say, oh my God, there's so many already cool podcasts like Creative Pep Talk or Being Boss. And I'm like, do people need another one?
Well, there's the comments in the comment section.
Okay.
For example, hold on, because this got lost in the comments. Julia says, I'm currently listening to Jonathan Van Ness podcast, and he just invites people and talk about science and society and stuff, though enlighten people, which is funny and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. The problem is that I don't think we know that many people we could invite to the podcast.
Yeah.
But that sounds pretty interesting. And Claudia Day says, how about adult problems and just general life issues? Like when you were talking about therapy or that kind of thing. Like, what about...
Oh, we have a lot of issues, Ed.
What do you mean?
No. Like, that sounds so
now
wrong.
Here, let's fight.
No, I don't mean as a couple or as people, but we're always dealing with so much stuff.
Yeah, that's true. We're always
like every week is like, oh my God, this just happened. Like, why are we going to deal with this stuff? Like, I think we're really good at problem solving.
Yeah,
thanks to that, because since moving, I think we're living so many lives right now. Yeah. Because our lives are way more intense. That, for example, I'm not saying that our lives are more intense than people back in Chile, like our friends. But since we're always dealing with like these applications or like, oh, we just move again, so we have to do this. By the way, should I do shadows, guys? Please leave a comment. Or if I just like go with the outlining. Okay.
If you want shadows, write yes. If you don't, write no.
But problem solving might be like a really good topic. So thank you so much for that feedback. Also, my friend Marion and I wanted to do a podcast with Ed about things that we don't talk, but like things we don't know about. So I've watched Friends, but Marion and Ed have never watched Friends. So I wanted them to talk about what do they think Friends is about, like the show.
Well, that would be an interesting segment.
Yeah.
Things I have no idea about, and I can.
And I'm going to explain.
And we could do the same. Like I could ask you about, there's this book called, I don't know.
The Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. What is Bhagavad Gita about? And you're like, well, I think it's about people in India, and they just, I don't know. are vegetarians and there's karma and shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that could work.
Yeah.
Certainly. Well, they want shadows, so
Okay.
you gotta shadow that.
Okay, let's just all remember how this illustration looks like right now without the shadows, because I might fuck this up, guys.
Whoa.
Yes,
whoa,
I
whoa,
use the F word.
language.
But just remember what the illustration looked like right now. I'm applying some shadows and some details. I love like you can say details 2 ways.
Yeah. Wait, there's more comments before. It will be a morning show, but cozy and cool. That's nice. That's a good idea, actually. What are your thoughts on minimalism, since you guys travel a lot?
Minimalism is great. I love minimalism. But I mean, since the first time we moved, we have been really good at minimalism because,
And with abroad, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because in Chile I was borderline hoarder.
Ed, you guys, this is no joke. Ed had a serious problem with stuff. You love stuff.
I mean, I don't love stuff.
You can use the fancy word collector.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I had a problem with emotional attachment to objects. It had nothing to do with buying things. It had to do with not throwing things to the garbage. Even if things were not properly working, I was like, oh, I could fix that later on, and then never fix it because I was like, this is perfectly usable. I just have to spend 2 days fixing it, and then it would work. But then
you never had those days.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that
no sense.
since you were a kid, like you guys, 5 years old, Ed started collecting his toys because you once had a friend, a neighbor,
Yeah.
and he was playing with his dad's toys, and you thought that was so cool
Yeah.
when you were 5.
Yeah.
So Ed, since 5 years old, you started collecting your toys,
Yeah,
like
from my
keeping them
kids.
in like pristine condition.
Some of them.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at keeping things in pristine condition, but yeah, I was taking good care of my toys because I thought my kid eventually would play with them. But I was doing that way too much. Now I just don't care.
Yeah. But now since moving, we have been really good at that.
Yeah. Actually, I went to Chile last year, and my sister was like, "Oh, we're keeping these things from you." It's like, this is a box full of toys and things, and we've been keeping in my place for a few years since you moved away. Would you like
What
to?
should we do with
What should we
them?
do with it? And I was like, scatter around it to one toy. And okay, just give away the rest. It's all good.
And
my
they were like,
sister was
what?
she was in shock.
I mean, yeah, after years of after all your life being a certain way, I bet your family was pretty shocked.
Yeah.
Are those wet stains or are they shadows? We don't know. Okay.
Could play a game, wet stain or shadow, and people had like pit stains, and we have to guess if it's like a shadow or not. That sounds like a disgusting game. Anyway, yeah, I guess when you move abroad, you start, at least that was my experience, I started realizing that keeping as few things as possible is way better, and just have very few things that you enjoy and use all the time instead of having a lot of things that you use once.
But was that a suggestion for the podcast? Or just like just a question?
Just a question.
Okay.
Julia says, like, I'm admiring you for having like 5 t-shirts. I want to be like that. But then when I buy new pajamas, I buy new pajamas when I already have like 5 pairs of pajamas. Well, I guess, you know what? I'm going to butt speak for a while. Am I allowed to? Okay.
Yeah, do it. You have permission.
I believe, without any scientific research or reason to claim, I think that when I think that's something that happens when you live with your parents, and then when you move and you're still in the same city, that's something that happens because you have the feeling that you will need things, and you will, yeah, like there are things that you will need anyway, so you will not throw them away.
Yeah.
And then you don't like them anymore because you outgrow them, or you don't find them pretty anymore, but you still have them and they're in good use, so you purchase a new one, and then that's how the cycle goes. I don't know. I don't think I think it's good for just I think it's good to let it go.
Let it go. Oh, no one has done that joke in a while.
Because that movie is really old.
Yeah. They're going to make a new one.
A new Frozen?
Yeah, I bet they are.
What? No.
Ed, the first one was a hit. Do you think they're not going to do a sequel? Look at my hand. Do you think?
I don't know. That would be weird, isn't it? Because it felt so conclusive. What will they say now?
I mean, every Toy Story movie has been really conclusive, and they have done several sequels.
Frozen?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
So wait, before outlining the illustration, I'm going to paint their hair also with black. And what else should I do? Okay, so yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, there is actually a Frozen 2. That's crazy. It's on the making. Frozen 2, 2019.
Really?
Wow.
Oh man, they're going to start they will start advertising that baby so soon.
Thanks, Ed. I'm gonna think about that very scientific research you made of pajamas. Well, you know, that's how I roll. I just create science with my word. Oh, the Miyazaki film. What do you think about the Miyazaki film?
Did you watch it, guys?
They're gonna watch it pretty soon.
I think everything in relation, like around Hayao Miyazaki, is wonderful and interesting because he's such a wonderful and interesting, I was going to say character, human being. But I didn't like the aesthetic of the documentary because it felt like my friend Akiko said, I felt like she said this. It was edited with iMovie or something like that.
Yeah.
It didn't look very professional. So that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about it, just in case if you already watched the documentary. I wanted to hear your thoughts. But yeah, it was such a strange movie, right?
It was weird. Like, I appreciate the fact that we were able to see a little bit more inside the studio and whatnot, but oh, it was so poorly edited, and I don't know. It just looked bad. It looked like film from a camera from 2004, like an old camera made with with tapes.
Like a Handycam.
Like a Handycam, and it was shot like a Handycam. The camera was moving around all the time.
It felt like it was filmed in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like the quality of the camera was like that. And I remember how beautiful was the Kingdom of Wonder and Madness, something like that. Is the last documentary I watched by of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki, and that was a beautifully shot documentary. So I'm like, who allowed this cameraman or this director or person to film something like this?
Yeah, so Corey is asking if we mean the Kingdom of Dreams and Madness. No,
yes.
We're not talking about that documentary.
I mean, I was talking about that one right now, that how beautifully it was shot. But the last one is Hayao Miyazaki.
Life on the Work or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. We're the worst. This is why we won't having a podcast anytime soon, because we can't remember any facts or details or names. God.
Yeah, Corey's like, oh, there's another one? Yeah, we were just talking about it. It's not very good.
It's not out yet.
No?
I mean,
we saw it in the movies.
Oh, but I thought it's out in the movies, but not in the, maybe it's out in the internet. I don't know. You guys, I'm going to use Bombay Blue India ink. As always, very electric, wonderful blue. I'm going to outline this paste.
Andrea asks, would you still recommend going to watch the Miyazaki film or not really missing out?
Yes.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I would recommend it only because of what he says. He's always giving these nuggets of really useful information. And I think it's really interesting to watch someone who is incredibly talented, addicted to his work, to work, and the idea that he has to retire and doesn't want to retire, because you can clearly see in the first 5 minutes that he doesn't want to retire.
Yeah.
He's always working, and at the same time, how scary is the thought that he doesn't have any people that is going to, like, how do you
Continue
say,
the
continue
project
his
or-
work.
Yeah.
So he will die with Studio Ghibli, and his partner, actually, his business partner, died recently as well. That wasn't shown in the movie because it happened just a few months ago. So it's so sad that he built all of this legacy, but no one is going to follow him up afterwards. And he always talks about he's going to die very soon, and there's no one that is going to follow him or work on the upcoming movies. I don't know. It's kind of like overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, I think the movie really talks about death and legacy and ego and work ethic and how you treat other people and how you are being perceived, but everything with death on the background. So
Yeah.
it's not an uplifting documentary. It's not something that you will watch and be like, "Oh, this was so nice." It's actually, I don't want to say depressing, but
It's
It's-
eye-opening on his work and life, because the Kingdom of Madness and blah blah blah, that was a very nice documentary. I mean, he was very stressed when they were doing the documentary because they were working on a new film, like two films at the same time. But it was really comforting documentary. But this one is when there's no more people at the studio. Actually, there's no one working there because he officially retired. Everybody was fired, and then so it's a really interesting new perspective on the studio.
I mean, it's an
So-
interesting moment on the studio, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Well, they're asking questions, friend.
Okay,
So
you guys, super easy questions. Okay.
Dear Ivory asks, what brush are you using for the outline?
Okay, I bought this one at Bleaks. It's the Princeton Art and Brush Co. studio.
What number is it?
Princeton Art and Brush Co. And it's the number 50, and it's round and it's synthetic hair, and it's really nice. Before that, I was using all of these three. This is the only issue I have with really thin brushes, that they get damaged really easily. So you always have to have a spare one just in case. The Da Vinci Nova Synthetics are really nice, guys. Also, they're synthetic hair, which is the ones that I like. And this one is a very old one, but no. I bought it when we were in Berlin a couple of months ago. And this is from the Bösnet, actually, the art supply shop. And all of these are 50 as well. No, this is a 10-0, this one. So between 10-0 and 50, I guess, is a very nice thin brush. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's 113.
Okay. I knew this one was going to be longer because, oh man, this is the last one. I mean, not the last one, but the last one this year. So the only, oh God, it's so problematic to ink afterwards because I have no idea where the pencil was in the first place. But I love drawing clothes. I used to hate it. It's so relaxing.
Astrid Kircher and Stuart Studcliffe. That's how these characters look like, Julia says. I don't know them.
I don't
And then
know
she says,
them.
if you haven't read it, I recommend it's a book called Babies in Black by Arne Belstorff. And it's a comic about these two characters.
Really? I know oh my God. So when we went to Berlin, that book was for sale, and
Really?
I loved that illustration style, and I completely forgot about it. Thank you so much, baby, for recommending me that book. Can you write it down so I know?
Yeah. Babies in Black. Baby like
They look
Santa
like
baby.
yes, like Santa baby. They look like what is the word for people who investigate things? Like a
Inspectors,
private, yeah.
investigator.
Yeah. Man, I haven't brushed in such a long time. You can see because the lines are not that thin. So the only advice I can give you guys with this, which is so Mr. Obvious, but the only way you can get good at this is to practice. You can see why this is really like applied, because I haven't practiced in such a long time and my lines are really like uneven and weird. I guess that's why I love inking with brush so much, or why I enjoy the Kuretake brush as well. I mean, it's a pen, but it has like a felt tip. Is because I love the unevenness of the brush.
Oh wow, there's the connection is kind of slow. Oh, it got better now.
Are you guys okay? Can you see us?
Fran, did you find out your color palette the same way you did with your illustration style?
Yes. I found my color palette by trying out colors, and I remember I always loved pink, so I started by painting everything with pink, and then I'm like, oh my god, I love this cyan, and then I started incorporating um, different colors with time, and always moving one color at a time, because I know it can be really overwhelming to have this massive color palette next to you and wanting to use all of the colors. But it always, yeah, it's the worst advice ever, because it's like, it always takes time. It's time, guys, but it is.
But it is time. I mean, if there was a shortcut, you probably had taken it, but there is none.
And always, I learned with time that it's always nice to be flexible. So, for example, it would have been really, really easy for me to just stick with these colors forever and ever. But recently, I've enjoyed to use red so much with pink. And that was something that I had no idea was going to happen, because I've never been a huge fan of red. But you can say, oh, but I have never used red, so I'm not gonna use it because it's not part of my color palette. But be flexible with things, and practice a lot. Oh, and I'm going to then share with you my favorite pencils, or the one that I've been using lately.
Emma asked, does Ed ever paint? I really enjoyed Holly's video where Craig painted one of her paintings. I think lots of people would like to see Ed draw or paint. I drew with you not so long ago in the episode of the animals. Remember?
No?
We drew together for a live stream.
We painted, I mean, we did one challenge together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that wasn't painting.
That wasn't painting. That was drawing. I don't really know how to paint, to be honest. It looks like black magic to me. I mean, I understand the basics, but I can't replicate the idea. So I see what you're doing. It's like, oh, that doesn't look hard at all.
But when you do it...
Yeah, when I do it, I'll probably mess it up.
Where's my iPad? Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Okay. I need to see. This is my iPad. Wait. Oh my god.
Julia says, is practicing frustrating only for me? Like, I feel I'm never gonna achieve being content with my work. Julia, that's how practice works. If you feel like if you're frustrated because you feel like you're not there yet, then that's good, because it means you still have like a critic point of view. Oh, look, there's
This is the illustration. I mean, the picture, guys. By the way, my what's the thing? The reference. So now I feel really confused about certain lines. So I open it up just to have a reference open. Who was the guy who said that when you are about to give up, that's exactly the point where you're supposed to keep going?
I don't know, but it's like a pretty known statement.
Yeah. Baby, it's completely normal to feel frustrated. I feel like that while going to therapy, and I'm like, I want to see results. This is taking so long. And then eventually I start seeing results, and it happens the same with illustration. You just you have to enjoy what you're doing, because that's the frustrating part of everything, that everything takes time. So you might as well enjoy the process, I guess. And the other thing that at least it helped me a lot, guys, is to have very clear goals. Because when you say, oh, I want to get better at this, since the goal is so broad and general, I feel like it's more useful to have a goal that is tangible. Like, I want to get better at hair. How I'm going to practice hair? Oh, okay, so every day I'm going to practice half an hour, or the next time I have no idea what to draw, I'm going to draw hair. So it's better, I guess, to have more tangible and specific goals than wanting to get better at broader things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's super important when practicing, you need to practice specific things. Otherwise, it becomes like, it's the difference between grabbing the guitar to just have fun and play, in comparison to grabbing the guitar to practice a certain scale, or practice, this movement of the fingers when you play this note, and then repeat the same movement over and over. And it's tedious and it's not entertaining, but it's not supposed to be entertaining. Like, that's what practice is. So at least that's how I take it. Whenever I practice, I don't know, like writing scenes or something, which I don't really do that much now. But when I used to practice a lot writing scenes, that's what I was doing. Like in this scene, I will just, I don't know, resolve it in this way, and then, oh, can I resolve it in this other way, and then, which, like, it's material that nobody else will see, but I guess it helps to get better.
It's always a trial and error situation.
I feel like I'm hoarding the conversation on your live
Baby,
stream.
no, for me it's really hard to concentrate and talk at the same time. So thank you so much for helping me, Ed.
You're right,
You're right. Is that it? I guess it
so.
is.
Looks good. Looks good.
Looks good. So wait. So one of the last things I do when I clean the brush right away. So this lady had very voluptuous lips. So I'm going to paint here, like so. And also, I haven't used this pen in such a long time. This is the Jelly Roll 08 in white. This is a Corel roll. And what I do is I paint very small details over blue, just to make sure. You can use also whitewash. I don't know why I'm using this one. I guess this is more handy to have in comparison to open one tub of the whitewash.
When you started practicing or exploring styles at the beginning, did you try to mimic other people's artwork as you practice, or did you practice like anatomy and things like that?
Oh no, baby. I was copying all the way, but I was copying privately.
Yeah, you were not posting your things on any social media at the time.
And also I think it's way more traceable to copy only one person rather than several ones. So I remember I had lots of people I used to admire a lot, and I used to take one thing out of many people. So it was sort of like I was doing a collage, so to speak, with the with my influences.
Yeah.
That hand looks very weird. Okay. Ta-da! I could like add things at infinity. But I remember the last thing that you guys asked me was Vego asked me my favorite color pencils, Vego. And so far I have been enjoying, this is really weird, guys, the Blick Studio pencils. They're really, really cheap, and they're not supposed to be like, oh my God, so fancy pencils. But they're really nice. And this one and this one are my favorite colors. This is the pink rose and the mountain blue. I use them all the time. For blue, blue, I use the Karan Dak. I have no idea how to say this brand. Let me see if I can. Is this one the Karan Dash brand? Anyway, that brand. The blue sapphire is my favorite blue. I use it all the time. And now, what else? For pink, this is a really nice one. Also, in general, the Karan Dash, the watercolors one that I don't use as watercolors, they're my favorite. This is the rose pink, and the texture is really nice. The colors look very like soft and basically because it's a watercolor pencil, it will blend really easily. Again, I never use it as watercolor pencils. I never add water, but they're really nice. And all of the people that I know they use color pencils for the illustrations, like Nina, she uses watercolor pencils because they're softer and they're more creamy. And so if you're into creamy, that's the best.
Caran d'Ache.
Caran d'Ache. Okay, thank you guys. And for purples, I've been enjoying a lot the Derwent. Oh no, but it's from England, so it should be Derwent. Anyway, the pale lavender is really tricky to find really light lilacs and lavenders because all of them look really, really dark when you paint with them. But this one so far is my favorite, it's the pale lavender. And I have another one as well, which is from the same brand, but it's called Light Violets. And these are my favorite ones from all time. The new ad that I have is this one, the pale blue. And in general, guys, I don't stick to one brand because sometimes, for example, this brand has really, really nice colors in lilac, but they don't have a really nice palette with pinks. So I tend to switch from brands every now and then, or don't stick to one brand necessarily. Now that I'm tracing my illustrations with color pencils, I found that, for example, Prismacolor is really good with really hard nibs, like really hard, it's not a pasty and soft color like the watercolors that I just show you. So Prismacolor does amazing hard nibs colors. I don't know if that's the word you would use actually. But for inking, they're amazing. And I just bought this one these are not the color rays, by the way. They're not the same as the one that I use for sketching. They're only for painting. And I also bought they're called the very thin, by the way, I just realized. So this is the Rouge Gramoncy, and this is the Violet de Parme. So crimson red and Parma violet. I have no idea why I read the other one. Anyway, so these are really good for inking. I mean, inking, outlining, anyway. And for yellow, always very
That's
light.
a lot of names. People can't write them down. They're asking if you could put them on Discord or something.
I'm gonna put them there.
A lot of
I'm gonna put them
information.
there. Don't worry, guys. Sorry. I was just like talking
I'm gonna read the phone book for you guys. It starts with A. Arnaldo.
It's so hard to choose. Anyway, the light lemon yellow for Caran d'Ache. I've noticed that most of my colors are from Caran d'Ache. Caran d'Ache.
Caran d'Ache.
Dash. Anyway, very nice. Love these colors. I always take them with me. Of course, I have so many that I haven't mentioned. But these ones, I guess, are my favorite ones. And I don't, as you can see, I don't stick to a brand. And that's it, guys. Do you have any more questions regarding this illustration or anything else? You guys. But I'm gonna write it down. I'm so sorry, guys. I got really excited with pencils, as you do when you start talking about pencils. My God! I can't believe this is the last live stream.
It is the last time. No, it's the last live stream, not the last time.
Yeah. Emma says, I love how you both Usually voices sound the same. I don't make you know my voices are silly Tuesday. Ah, thank you, baby.
They went to refer like this.
Wait, let me see if we can say goodbye. Oh, look at this messy desk,
You want
guys.
your
This
mirror?
one. Hi, guys. Oh, wow. This is the look from a Sunday afternoon. This is Ed. Hi, guys. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I can't believe it's the last one this year. But hopefully, I share the knowledge of what I know and the things you had questions. Maybe we can do another live stream with watercolors because they're so tricky and it's hard for me to share these things, guys, because I feel I have no idea what I'm doing. I just wing it, winging it.
I'm just winging it.
Yeah, every time I paint, but I hopefully I did a good job. You guys, any questions? No.
No, just saying goodbye.
Yay!
Merry Christmas.
Thank
and
you,
things.
guys. Thank you so much for
Very
joining
nice.
us. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I mean, what is left from the weekend, to be honest.
Like basically hours.
Yeah, basically a few hours. That's depressing anyway. Oh my God. I hope we're having a wonderful Sunday now, Ed and I have to film for his channel, right, Ed?
Yep.
Oh yeah, and have lunch and feed the cats. We
And
love you
write the
guys.
essays and do
We
things.
love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support and for being here in our lives with us. Look at Ed. He's so grateful about your existence. Look at
Look at
this.
Celia Rica. She's really grateful.
Can I show you Serial, guys, really quickly before we leave?
Can you turn the camera?
Yeah,
Look at
that. Oh, you
you
can't
can only
see
see
her.
the top of the ears.
Man, she looks very dramatic up there.
She's the queen of the world.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye, everybody. See you on Monday because.
Write bye on
Okay.
the comments.
Bye, guys.
It's-
We love you.
It's not Fran, it's me.
Bye, guys.
I am writing.
Bye, guys.